But Formula One fans, buckle up. The 2025 season is just around the corner, and the big question on everyone's mind, can Red Bull bounce back after a shaky 2024? Testing is done, predictions are rolling in, and it looks like we could be in for one of the closest seasons in recent history. Let's break down the latest developments and what they mean for the upcoming Australian Grand Prix. Red Bull's dominance took a serious hit in 2024, finishing third in the Constructors' Championship despite Max Verstappen clinching his fourth straight driver's title. Now, heading into 2025, the team is facing early challenges with the RB21. Technical director Pierre Wauchet himself admitted, "It doesn't look like we are quick enough." But is this just early season jitters or a real concern for the reigning champion? A key factor in Red Bull's performance struggles could be the new aerodynamic regulations, which have impacted their once dominant design philosophy. With McLaren and Ferrari appearing to have adapted better, Red Bull engineers are working around the clock to extract more pace from their machine before the first race of the season. If the issues persist, could we see an unexpected challenger emerge from the midfield? Adrian Newey, Red Bull's legendary designer, also weighed in on the matter, stating, "We knew that adapting to the latest FAA regulations would be challenging, but we are committed to overcoming these hurdles. Our priority is ensuring we extract the maximum from the RB21 as quickly as possible." Pre-season testing at the Bahrain International Circuit didn't provide much comfort for Red Bull fans. The team completed the fewest laps, just 304, while Mercedes led the count with 458. The fastest lap, that belonged to Carlos Sainz at 129.348. And while times in testing don't always tell the full story, Red Bull struggles to extract consistent performance from the RB21 raised questions heading into the season opener in Melbourne. Another key takeaway from testing was tyre degradation. Reports suggest that Red Bull struggled with long-run consistency, an issue that could prove costly in a season where tyre management is expected to play an even bigger role. In contrast, McLaren appeared to have a stable race pace, potentially setting them up as a dark horse for early success. Max Verstappen, however, remained cautiously optimistic, stating, "Testing never gives you the full picture. We have some issues to iron out, but I trust the team to get us where we need to be before Melbourne." After a turbulent 2024 season and some concerning pre-season testing results, could the reigning champion be facing his biggest challenge yet? And just how will Verstappen react if Red Bull doesn't deliver a winning car? After dominating the first half of the 2024 season, Red Bull's performance dropped significantly, with balance issues plaguing the RB20. The team went 10 races without a win, an uncharacteristic slump that saw them fall to third in the Constructors' Championship. While Verstappen secured his fourth consecutive driver's title, the struggles raised serious questions heading into 2025. Now, Red Bull's new machine, the RB21, is under scrutiny after an underwhelming showing in Bahrain's pre-season testing. Technical director Pierre Wauchet admitted, "It was not as smooth a test as we expected. The car did not respond how we wanted at times, and it's something we need to work on before the first race." Well, that's not exactly what Red Bull fans wanted to hear. And this uncertainty raises a major concern. How will Verstappen handle it if Red Bull isn't competitive? Former Haas team principal Günther Steiner weighed in, saying, "If Max doesn't have a car where he can win, he will be very difficult to manage. He will be vocal about it, and an unhappy Max is not a nice Max." Verstappen has shown frustration in the past when things don't go his way. Last season, when Red Bull's pace started to fade, he reacted aggressively at first, but later adopted a more calculated approach, focusing on maximizing points rather than outright victories. But if Red Bull struggles right out of the gate in 2025, could we see Verstappen's patience wear thin? Steiner offered some advice for Verstappen, saying, "Stay calm and don't throw the toys out of the pram after 2 races if it doesn't go your way. Getting impatient and complaining doesn't help a team. If we're not where we want to be at the start, we need to work hard to get back." Wise words, but will Adding to the intrigue, Verstappen has a new teammate for 2025, Liam Lawson, stepping up from Red Bull's junior team. How will this dynamic play out? Will Lawson rise to the challenge? Or could Verstappen feel even more pressure without an experienced wingman like Sergio Perez by his side? Verstappen has also found himself in the spotlight for other reasons, his outspoken personality. The FIA has ramped up its regulations on driver conduct, implementing strict penalties for bad language and misconduct. Verstappen has already clashed with the FIA over this, famously serving a day of community service after an explicit remark in 2024, and now with potential fines, suspensions, or even the docking of championship points at stake, could Verstappen's fiery nature land him in hot water once again? Dutch pundit Olaf Mol believes Verstappen won't deliberately push the limits, but he could find ways to challenge the system. That's exactly the authenticity he has. If they start imposing these kinds of rules, he'll find a way to turn it his way, Mol said. Verstappen has made it clear he doesn't enjoy media duties, and if tensions rise, could he look for ways to avoid them altogether? There's no doubt that Max Verstappen remains one of the most formidable drivers on the grid, but with a potentially weaker Red Bull car, rising competition from McLaren and Ferrari, and stricter FIA regulations, 2025 could be his toughest season yet. Will he stay composed and fight for title number 5, or will frustration take over? So, if Red Bull isn't looking dominant, who is? According to Watche, McLaren and Ferrari are the teams to watch, and F1 analyst Alad Kalf adds that while testing was close, with all 4 top teams, McLaren, Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes, within a few tenths of each other, there's no clear championship contender yet. His verdict? Expectations are always a prelude to disappointments. But it's not just about outright speed. Ferrari seems to have built a car that's both fast and reliable. Meanwhile, Mercedes, despite flying under the radar, might be the most consistent team, logging the highest mileage and showing promising race pace. Could we see a surprise resurgence from the Silver Arrows? Zak Brown, McLaren CEO, also expressed confidence in his team's progress, saying, "We've worked hard over the winter and I think we're in a good place. If we continue at this trajectory, we'll be in the fight at the front." A rivalry that could define the season is Max Verstappen versus Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen is chasing his 5th straight title, while Hamilton, now at Ferrari, is eyeing a record-breaking 8th. Will 2025 reignite their historic battle? Kalf believes these two remain the best racers in Formula 1, but new dynamics, like Verstappen's race engineer GP Lambiase taking on a bigger role at Red Bull and Hamilton adjusting to Ferrari, could shape the championship fight. Let's not forget the potential team dynamics at play. With Hamilton's arrival at Ferrari, the internal battle with Charles Leclerc will be a storyline to watch. Will Leclerc accept a secondary role, or could we see friction between the two drivers? Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur acknowledged the challenge ahead, stating, "Having 2 strong drivers is a blessing, but managing expectations and team strategy will be crucial. We are focused on delivering a car that allows both Charles and Lewis to fight at the front." With testing behind us, the real action begins in Melbourne. Will Red Bull find their missing pace? Can McLaren and Ferrari capitalize on their momentum? And is Mercedes the dark horse we should be watching? One thing's for sure, Formula One's new season is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable seasons in recent history. But beyond the front runners, there's another battle brewing. Aston Martin, Alpine and even Haas are showing signs of improvement. Could we see an unexpected midfield team fighting for podiums? Keep an eye on Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris, both of whom have looked strong in testing and could spring a surprise. Alonso, ever confident, stated, "We may not have the fastest car, but we have a team that never gives up. If an opportunity arises, we'll be ready to take it." That's all for today's F1 update. What do you think? Will Red Bull recover, or is the championship slipping away? Who will be the biggest surprise of 2025? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest in Formula One. See you next time.